topic that we are going to start is basically your loop statements. Can you hear anyone? Tell me what do you understand by the term loop statements? Anyone any basic idea? What do you understand by loops? In layman terms? Exactly. Repetition. Exactly. Basically, that's what happens. Suppose, see, in real life, majority of the tasks, okay, majority of the tasks that you perform, okay, are basically repetitive. Okay. For example, suppose let's say we wake up every day, okay, or let's say we eat 3 times a day, okay. We basically bathe every day, okay. We basically go to office every day, right? So whatever tasks we do, okay, on a daily basis or in real life majorly, okay, are basically there is some kind of repetition in that. Okay, let me give a very simple example. Suppose, let's say I want to print. Suppose a friend came to my house, okay, and I want to say hello single time. I will say hello like this, right? Print hello simply. But suppose let's say I want to say hello 10 times. So what will I have to do in that case? I will have to write print hello 10 times, right? Are you getting this everyone till here? If we want to repeat a particular task, then we will have to write that task in the code again and again. Now, what we can do, this same concept, this same thing can also be done using something called as loop. Okay, I'm just showing you how, showing you the example, then I will explain slowly how it works. So I will write here for I in range. Since I want to say hello 10 times, I will write here 10 and then followed by the task that I want to repeat. So you can see in both the cases, notice one thing, we are getting the same output, right? We're getting the same output in both the cases. Plus, okay. So now let's understand how this particular thing is working. Okay. Now, when we talk about loops in Python specifically, so there are two types of loop statements available. First is for loop, second is while loop. These two types of loops are available in Python. Now, what happens in case of for loop? For loop basically we use when we already know how many times a particular task needs to be done. Suppose let's say I am saying that I want to drink 4 glasses of water. So I know exactly that I want to drink 4 glasses of water. Okay, not less, not more, exactly 4 glasses. Okay, so in that case we use for loop. Okay, when we know how many times a particular task has to be done. While loop is basically used when we know the condition, how many times it needs to be repeated. When we know the condition on which the repetition is dependent on. For example, I don't know how many glasses of water I will drink. Okay, I am saying that okay, I will drink okay continuously, okay, as long as I am thirsty. Okay, so that can be 2 glasses of water also, that can be 100 glasses of water also, but I will drink continuously. So in case of while loop, we know the condition, we don't know how many times exactly. Okay, in case of loop, we don't know the condition, but we know how many times. Got the difference between the two, everyone? conceptual difference all of you understood? This is asked in the interview also class. What is the basic difference between for loop? What is the use? What is the difference in terms of usage in case of for and while loop? Okay, so you can say as it is like I have written. So now let us understand. First, I am covering for loop. Before starting with for loop, na class, I just need to cover a very small topic called as range function, because that you can see is used in for loop, na range 10. So let me cover range function separately first, and then I will come back to for loop. Okay. I will remove that for now. First, I am covering range function. So range function, what happens in class? Range, it is a function. It is a function which generates a sequence of integers in a given range. Generates a sequence of integers in a given range. Okay. For example, suppose let's say I'm writing range m. Okay. Where m is some number. Okay. So what will happen? It will start from 0, 1, 2, and it will go on till n minus 1. Whatever number you're giving here, na, it will go till n minus 1. Okay. Suppose if you're writing, let me show you the example also in parallel. Suppose I'm writing here class L is equal to. Achha, whenever you write range, now always like simply range if you're writing, convert that into a list so that you will understand better. Okay, let's say range 5. So you can see, only to put a variable here. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It will start from 0, it will go till whatever number you have mentioned, minus 1 and minus 1. Suppose if I write here range, another way, I can do m comma n also. How it works? It will start from m, then m plus 1, m plus 1, m plus 2. It will go on till n minus 1. That means if I write list range of maybe 3 comma 11, so you can see it is going starting from 3. See, if you don't mention the starting point, it will start from 0. If you don't mention the starting point, it will start from 0. Okay, if you mention the starting point, then it will start from that number till whatever number you have mentioned, minus 1. Got that class till here? Sindhu, I hope I answered your question now. You can write 1 comma 11, 1 comma 5 if you want to start from 1. Just a minute. Can we define the range like m plus 2 instead of m plus 1? That can also be done. Let me give an example also. Yes, Jacob, that is the standard. Whatever number you will mention, no, that won't be included. It will go till minus 1 of that. Whatever, no matter, suppose let's say you mention 100. Just a sec. 100. So you can see it is going starting from 3 and going on till 99. Got that, Jacob? Yeah. Priyank, do one thing. You must have like made some. You have written something earlier. Do one thing. Write del range and run the code. Del range, run the code in a separate cell. Then run this code again. List range 5, one code again. Okay. Now, class, there is another way of doing this. Here, notice one thing. Notice one thing here in this particular case. Game range is not defined. Friend, share the code with me once. Actual code. See, there is one more way, class. Here, notice one thing. Here, like when I'm writing range 5, so what is happening? It is starting from 0 and going on till 4. But notice one thing here in this particular case, now there is a jump of 1. Na? 0 plus 1, 1. 1 plus 1, 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 1, 4, right? It is jumping by 1, right, class? It is getting incremented by 1, yes or no? No, by default, it is taking 1, right? So that is called a step size. There is something called as step size. Let me write it down here. So the syntax of range may what happens? There is range, then we write start, then we write end, and then there is something called as step size. And the default value of step size is basically 1. Basically, what will happen? By default, it will always increment by 1. But we can control that also. How? We can write range m comma n comma p. So what will happen? It will start from m obviously, but instead of doing m plus 1, it will do m plus p. Then m plus 2p, so on till n minus 1, always. So here, suppose if I write list of range of 3, 11, 2. Notice the difference. Got this everyone class? In the second last cell, it is by default incrementing by 1. But in the last cell, it is incrementing by 2. Clear? What is the doubt? What is the doubt? Vishal, Sindhu. Priyank, your code is list range 3. Code to say range is not defined. How is that possible? Del range is also not working. It is not defined. Then it is not create a variable. Range object is not callable. Why is not callable? No, Shashank, it will be n minus 1. It will always go till n minus 1 maximum. Understand? Suppose, see, after 9, what should be the next number? Ideally, after 9, it should be 11, na? But maximum possible number is 10. Suppose if I give 3 here, so see, it is still going till 9. What is correct? Prem, can you send me a screenshot quickly? Code and error combined. Do one thing. Prem, do one thing. Do one thing. Restart your kernel from here. click on restart, and then rerun the code. That range wala code, run that again. Zuzar, I am coming to your question. Just give me a minute. It will not. It will always go till n minus one. Basically, simple as that. Prem, just send me the screenshot of the code. The slash range 5, this code. And the error. Abhishek, I'm coming to your question also. You can do that. Whatever you have written, you can do that. Now, plus here, notice one thing, everyone. Here, by default, we are incrementing, right? It is going in increasing order, right? It is going in ascending order. Yes or no? Right? It is increasing. But suppose, let's say I want to write it in descending order. Suppose I want something, for example, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Or let's say 10, 9, 8. I want to go from 10 till 3. So I will write here what? List of range of 10, 3. Tell me one thing, class. If I run this code, what do you think will happen? Can you tell me why we are not getting the required output? Priyank, is it all right if I take this dot at the end of the session? Because I guess only you are getting this error. I have to see the problem. Right? Because it is incremental, right? By default, it is incremental. By default, the step size is basically 1. So you cannot go from 10 till 3 by incrementing. So what happens in this case? You have to write an additional thing called as -1 because you want to go in descending order. So 10, 3, -1. So here, now, when the step size is negative, range n, p, n, m, minus p, let's say. So in these cases, it will go from n, then n minus 1, sorry, n minus p, n minus 2p, so on till m plus 1. Understand this, class. Here, since I've written 3, so it is going till 4. Got this, everyone, class? Till here. Cell number 123. See here what is happening, 3, 11, 3. So here 3 is the start point. Okay, 11 is the end point. And 3 is the step size. Step size basically means by which number you want to increment. So here the first number will be 3. Then 3 plus 3, 6. Then 6 plus 3, 9. Suppose if I write here, let's say 21 maybe. So see 3, 6, 9. It is incrementing. Let me start with 2. So okay. See, it is incrementing by 3 now. 3 is a step size. 2, 2 plus 3, 5, 5 plus 3, 8, 8 plus 3, 11, and so on. Got this, class, everyone, till here? No, okay, you cannot give the increment value in float. Okay, step size has to be an integer. That is compulsory. Okay. Similarly, you can give, let's say, 20 minus 4. Clear, class, till here? All right, Harish, that's the logic behind it. Got this class still here? Sure. Now let's go to for loop. Let's understand how this particular for loop basically is working. For loop. The for loop statement class is basically used when we know the number of iterations, the number of times, the number of repetitions a particular task needs to be done. So in that case, we use for loop statement. Let's try that once. Okay, what happens? Syntax. Okay, what happens in a for loop? We write for, then there is something called as loop variable followed by a membership operator, okay, followed by a collection sequence, okay, such as string, list, tuple, dictionary, or anything, any kind of sequence you can put. Here, notice one thing: plus range function is also creating a sequence. Range function is also creating a sequence of integers, okay, then followed by a colon here, then single task or multiple tasks that needs to be repeated. For example, I'm saying there should be some kind of collection. So suppose let's say there is a collection. I'm creating a list in which there are some names written. Okay, first name is, let's say, Zuzar is there. Okay, Akhil is there. Priyank is there. Simbu is there. Mamta is there. What will happen? I will write for name. Totally up to me which variable I want to use. Totally my choice. Okay. Now for name in L. L is a list here, followed by a column. Then what I want to print? I want to print like this. The name of student is name. Let's understand how this particular code works. What will happen now? First, the control of the code will come to line number 1. Then it will come to line number 2. Okay. L is already there. What will Python do? Python will assign the first value of the collection to the variable. That means Zuzar will be stored inside the name variable. Then the code will come to line number 3. It will print. Then from here it will go back to for loop. Then the second value inside the list collection will get stored inside the variable. Then the code will again come inside and then it will print Akhil. Then print will get stored. And so then all of them will get stored one by one. Okay, so first the code will come to for loop, then it will come inside the for loop and it will run whatever task, whatever lines you have written inside the code will get executed one. Is everyone getting this thing or not? Are you able to understand this or not, class? See, name variable is assigned here now. What will happen? Whatever data is present inside the collection will get stored inside the name variable one by one. Yes, Sudha. Which question? Ask your question. Okay, I have not defined how many times the loop will run. Okay, but what will happen in this case now? Since the list is already predefined, since the list that we are using is already predefined, okay, so what will happen in this case? For loop will run that many of times, okay, will run that number of times, okay, like whatever the number, whatever is the length of the list. If the length of the list is 5, so for loop will automatically run 5 times. Whatever collection you will give, whatever collection or sequence you will give, just a minute, just a minute. Right, I will come to if else also. Don't worry, I will come cover that also if else. Have we got till here, everyone? All of you understood how this loop is working? Okay, now let me give you more examples. Suppose, let's say, I'm saying that I want to, let me take the same example. Okay, I want to print hello 5 times, let's say. So I will write here for I in range. Now understand this class in this manner. What happens now? When you create a range, what happens? R is equal to list of range 5. What will happen in case of this range 5? R will be this, no? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exactly, right. Now, suppose if I write here for I in R, whatever range, whatever sequence, range basically does what? Range basically creates a sequence of integers. Okay, so it is already created as integer, sequence of integers. For I in R, print I. Are you able to understand this class? It is taking the data one by one from the sequence. Now, this code can also be written directly also, right? Same thing, no? Either you can create a variable first and then use a variable, or you can directly use the data, right? Okay. Now, here what happens in case of range function specifically, even if you don't use the list, because we don't need list actually, we just need a sequence. I am using list here just to show the sequence to you. If you don't use the list now, let me show you what happens. Right here, R1 is equal to range 5. So it will be visible to you like this, in this manner, range 0, 5. Okay, so in order to show you the entire sequence, I am typecasting this range into a list. Same thing you can do in tuple also if you want to. Okay, but here in this case, even if you don't typecast, because we don't actually need the list, we just need the sequence of integers. So see, it will still work fine. Got that, everyone, class? Now, I want complete focus of each one of you. Understand this one thing. when you're using a for loop, so it is totally up to you whether you want to see. Wait, let me just restart. Okay. Whenever you are using for loop, there are two things inside a for loop. Okay, one thing, there is a process. Let me write down here on. So there are two things available. There is one thing. First thing, that is there is a collection. Second thing, there is a loop variable. When we say collection, so we know the length of the collection, or I can also say, is my voice clear with everyone, class? Is my voice clear? Length of the collection, or we can say we know the number of repetitions. Okay, whatever is the length of the collection, it will repeat that number of times. Okay, first thing. Second thing we have is loop variable. Now, it is totally up to us whether we want to use the loop variable or not. Let me show you. Suppose if I write here, hello, tell me, am I using the I variable anywhere in the code? Am I using the I variable anywhere in the code? I variable is getting created here, yes. But am I using the I variable? Like here I was using here print I, right? I was using the I variable here in this case, in the previous case. But right now in the last code, I'm not using the I variable. But one thing I'm still using, what is that? There is one thing that I'm still using. Length of the collection. See, I'm writing range 5. So range 5 will give what? It will create a collection of 5 integers, right? So you can see hello is getting printed 5 times. Is this clear now, everyone? If the collection is of length 10, so loop will run 10. Okay, I can do one more thing. Let me show you one more. I can write here for I in I. Can anyone tell me what will be the output in this case? H and I, right? Select. But if I write here hello, so what will the output in this case? It will print hello twice. Excellent. Got this, everyone, now? In this case, I am not using the I variable, but I am still using the collection. There are two elements in the collection. That is why the loop is running 2 times, and that is why whatever we have written, that will also work 2 times. Getting this class or not? Is it possible to create for loop for loop variable? Getting the loop? No, no, that is not possible. Sure. Here, suppose let's say we have a sequence. We have a list with us L. Now, how many elements are there in the list? 5 elements are there. Okay. For I in L. Print I plus 1. What will be the output? Plus Sindhu, I have defined the string. I have not stored the string. Remember the difference. I can do it right. I can write it like so. X equal to I, and then I can write for I in X. That is the difference. Earlier I was using the I. Now I am storing the X first and then using the X variable. One, two, three, four, five. Right. It will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, whatever is the I value, what is the I value? In this case, I value is coming from where? Okay, it will throw error. Sorry. My bad. My bad. My bad. Suppose if I write here for I in range 5. Now, what would not tell me? Let me explain. Wait, give me a minute. Let me try run the code and then you will understand. See, when we write range 5, so what will the output of range 5 plus? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you getting till here? Getting this till here, class? Range 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Then what will happen? I variable will take the first element of the range. What will the value of I? 0. So what will it print now? What will it print? We're printing I plus 1, na? So it will print 1, right? Then in the next iteration, what will the value of I? When it will come again, so what will the value of I? I will become 1. So I plus 1 will become 2. Then 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. Is everyone getting this class or not? Are you able to understand the table that I have created? Okay, now what I will do? I will change this range 5 to something else. I will write here. Cha. All of you know the len function, na? Len function I have already covered, right? Len. Right? Suppose let's say we have this range. We have this list with us. If I write here len of L, so I will get 5. So instead of writing 5 here directly, I will write what? Len of 5. So can anyone tell me what will be the output? Len of L. Sorry. Can anyone tell me the output of this last cell? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Get this class. Right. Len of L will give you what? The output of this will be 5. So this will become range 5 now. So what exactly is the difference with this code and this code? Here 5 is hard coded. Okay, but here length is dependent on the list. Are you getting the difference, class? Suppose let's say there are 3 people only. So length, there are 3 people in the list. So what will happen? What will be the length of the list then? If there are 3 names inside the list, then what will be the length of the list? 3, right? Exactly. Okay. So that's the difference. Here, when you write 5, so you're hard coding. And we never hard code. In real life, we try. I'm not saying never. It depends on the situation. But in most of the cases, we try not to hard code anything. Okay. Why? Because see, let's take an example. Suppose you're ordering something from Amazon. Okay. So as a developer, is it possible for me to know how many? Is it possible for me to know how many shirts you are going to order? No, no. Or how many items you are going to order at a particular time? Will it be possible for me to know that while coding Amazon in the backend? No, no. Number of elements, number of items that you are going to order from Amazon can be different for different people. Exactly. That is what happens in case of like coding also. Since you don't know in real life how many people are going to be there in a particular class. There can be 90 people also, there can be 76 people also, there can be 5 people also. So to keep it dynamic, like Sindhu said, to keep it dynamic, we use length function. So if there are 76 participants, then this range will become automatically range 76. Is it clear, class, so far? Now, what will be the output of this class? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Now, class, tell me one thing. Is there any relation between this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and this list? Is there any relation between the two, class? Index, na? If you remember, the index of Zuzar is 0, index of Akhil is 1, Priyank is 2, Sindhu is 3, and Mamta is 4, right? So, are you getting this class code? Let's understand. There is something called as I here. Okay, what I'm doing now, this is called as hard code. Sorry, this is called as dry run. Always make sure that whenever you're working on loops, let's dry run. Dry run. I'm writing it here on. There is I. There is L of A, right? So what is the first value of I, class? What is the first value of I? There is length L. So length L will become 5. So it will become range 5. So range 5 will be what? We'll create a sequence 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now tell me what will be the first value of I class? 0. So L of 0 will become what? That. What will the second value of I? I will be 1. So L of I will become Akhil. 2. Priyank. 3. Sindhu. 4. Are all of you getting this or not, class? How this code is working? What I can do, I can write I also. I comma L of I. See. 0 Suzar, 1 Akhil, 2 Priyank, 3 Sindhu, 4. Because you have to write a code now, write a program to create, to print the square of first and natural numbers. Print the square of first and natural numbers. Okay, take n as input from the input. Write this for class. Vishal, let me complete the loop. I think you will get your answer. You will get the answer to your question. Write the code for this class. Last question. So I will be giving you multiple examples. I will be showing multiple examples, so you will understand. Okay, let's work on this question, class. See, first thing, see, instead of working on the entire question, now first see that okay, it is saying, it is asking us to take input from the user. We have to take some number, natural number as input from the user. I will take int, int, we have to keep it in integer. So input, enter a number. Okay, we have taken a number now. Now it is saying, write a program to print the square of first n natural numbers. What I can do? Now, see, understand this class. How you will decide that whether you want to, how you will decide whether you want to use a for loop here or not. Basically, notice one thing. We have to print multiple times. First thing. The only difference is the number. Is a number, the square of which we have to print. So only the number is changing, right? But the task that we want to implement is same. We have to print. The task is same, but the number is changing. That's the only difference. Okay. So now for that, whenever there is some kind of repetition, we have to use a for loop, right? What we will do? Let for I in. Now we'll understand. Okay, you have to run a for loop how many times? Okay, whatever is the n given by the user. Now it is saying n natural numbers. So remember class, natural number, it is not saying whole number. First n natural numbers. Most of you, whatever you have written in the code, that is incorrect. There is small difference. N natural numbers. Natural numbers start from 1. 0 is not a natural number. So in that case, I will write range. I will start from 1 and I will go till n. Right? And then I will write here print I power 2. Basically, I ka square. So if I run this code, here you can see it is asking for a number. Suppose if I enter 5, it is going to 16 only. Can anyone tell me the problem? Can anyone tell me the solution here? See, we know one thing, that whatever number you will give to the range function, if you give n, so it will go till n minus 1, right? So what we will do from our end, here in this case, I will write n plus 1. So since minus 1 is happening in the backend, right? So whatever number I will give here, it will go till minus 1 of that. That means n plus 1 minus 1. That is n. So see, if I write here 5, and the output. Got this class, everyone? Is everyone getting how to approach any question? Class? I am using 1 because it is saying natural numbers. Natural number starts from 1 now. अगर वो whole number, if it says whole number, then we can start from 0. Amar, you are getting error. Priyank, you are also getting for I in range 1. What is this? Priyank, have I covered this operator anywhere in the class? Is this a power operator? In mathematics, this is not mathematics, na? You have to write I star 2. Yes. Amar, why have you written print int input? प्रिंट को लगा रखा है स्टार्टिंग में हैव यू इन लाइन नंबर 2. Okay, do one thing. Write del int Priyank, and then rerun the code. Where your code must be stuck. You must be getting a star here. Tell me, are you getting a star here? Asterisk here at this place. So do one thing. Press the stop button and then rerun the code. Press stop button and then rerun the code. Amit, देखो. If I write here n, so it will go till, suppose if I write 5, so it will go till 4 square, na? Are you getting this, Amit? वो n-1 तक जाता है ना, it goes till n-1, right? Whatever number, whatever ant value you write, it will go till -1 of that. So yes, so what I have done, no, it is going till 4 na, but I want to take it till 5. So that is why I've written n+1, so that it will go till 5 now. 4 tak to already, you can see here it is already going till 4 na. Can only convert. Mamta, you have to typecast to integer na. Yeah, देखो, you have to do this. Let me give you another question, class. Write a program to create sequence of even numbers in a given range m comma n. Take m comma n as input. Wait. I'm changing send the question. From 2 till n. Take n as input. So here class, this will remain same. We will take the n as input. Now, it is asking us to print even numbers, right? And since we already know that the value of I is starting from 2, right? For I in range 2, 2 comma n. So, since we need even numbers, 2, 4, 8. So what we can do, 2 comma n, and we can give a step size as 2. And then print I. Suppose if I give 10 here, so you can see 2, 4, 6, 8. And if you want to include 10 as well, write n plus 1. Is everyone getting this code or not, class? Mamta, you can use if statement, but I have not covered that yet. Na? I have not covered if statement with a for loop. So that is why I'm not showing that. There are multiple ways to write a code. Okay. Let's understand one by one. Let me try the code. Okay. What will happen? First, suppose let's say n value I'm giving as 10. So n plus 1 will become what? 11. That means the range will become from 2 to 11 to, that means the sequence that will get created, understand, that will be 2, then 4, then 6, then 8, then 10, right? Then for loop will come. So there will be I and then printing. So what is the value of I? What is the first value of I? I will be 2, so it will print 2 obviously. Then 4, it will print 4. Then 6, it will print 6. 8, print 8. 10, print 10. Ah, yes, it is fine if you're using if statement also. Got this, Rimsha? That is a step size now, because we know that we have written sequence of even numbers. And since we know that the range is starting from 2, so 2, then the next even number will be what? 2 plus 2, right? 4. Next even number will be 4 plus 2, 6, then 8, then 10. Got it now? So that is why I'm taking the 2 as a step size, so that I can increment by 2 every time. Let me give you another question. Write a program to create the multiplication table of a number n in the format of like this. Suppose n equal to 2. So here you have to print it in this format. 2 into 1 is equal to 2. 2 into 2 is equal to 4. And so on till 2 into 10 is equal to 20. Got the question, everyone? All of you got the question, right? Let's try this first. First thing that is there is repetition is happening. Now in this format, let's understand this format first. format में क्या क्या है? What all things are there? There is 2. This is actually the value of n. Then there is this into. Okay, so this is fixed, right? Then there is 1. There is 2. There is 3. So this is a variable, or we can, in our case, we can control this using the I variable, right? Using the loop variable, right? Then equal to, this is already fixed. Then in the output, that is your 2, 4, 6. So notice one thing. This is what? This is actually n multiplied by I. So what I can do first, obviously, take the n as input from the user. Then for number whatever, in our case I am using I, for I in range. Now since the multiplication, it is a multiplication table. So multiplication table will go from where to where? From 1 till 11, right? Because we have to go till 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then followed by a colon. And then I will write here print understanding this class. N. Then asterisk is constant. You can put asterisk or cross, whatever. Then there is I. Then there is equal to that is fixed. Then there is n into I. So if I write 2 here, is everyone getting the code or not? Plus, is each and every one of you getting the code? Let me give you another question. Suppose you have a list with you. Take the list as predefined list that is already there in the code. No, Zuzar, I won't be able to cover lab while today. I will cover it tomorrow. Now write a program to print the initials of every name. Got the question, everyone? That is simple. So if I write here for name in L, so what will happen? If I write print name, I will get the entire name, right? But we don't need the entire name. We just want the first character because we did the initials. Print name 0. All of you got this or not, class? Sure. Now let us increase the complexity in reverse order. Just print the name. Print the name in reverse order. Print all the names in reverse order. Now can see, I explained one thing earlier that whenever you're working on a for loop, there are two ways. Whenever, for example, list or tuple, okay, so there are two ways to access the elements of the list or any kind of collection. First way is you can directly write for element, whatever the element is, in L and print element, right? So you will get all the elements. There is another way, that is what you can do for index. See, here we are accessing the element directly, but here in the second case we are writing, we are accessing the index, and then from the index we are accessing the element. Are you getting the difference between the two codes? Is each one of you getting the difference between the two codes? Here we are fetching the elements directly. See, notice one thing. This in this first for loop here, I am running the for loop on which collection? Tell me, I am running the for loop directly on which collection? I am running the for loop on the L collection, right? On the list. Okay. So on whichever collection you are running the for loop on, it will access the elements from that collection. So here in this first example, since I am running the for loop on the list, it is accessing the elements of the list, right? Now, tell me in the second example, I am running the for loop on which collection? The second example, I am running the for loop on which collection? Am I running the collection on the list or the range that is created from the length of list? The second example, I am running the loop on the list directly, or I am running the loop on the range that is created from the length of list. देखो सुजान, see, यहाँ पे L पे directly चल रहा है ना code. The first example, we are running the code directly on the L list. But in the second example, I am first calculating whatever is the length of the list. It's actually equal to range 5. I could have written range 5 also. Okay, same thing. For now, since assuming that the length of the list is going to be 5, that is, I've written 5 directly. Now, here, in this case, the for loop is running on which sequence? List or range? Suzanne, range, right? All of you got this? Now, tell me now, is it running on the range or the list? Now, it is still running on the range now. Earlier, I had written 5. So 5 was getting, we were getting 5 from, we had hard coded. In this case, we have hard coded or we have fixed. Okay, but we could have written length also, no? So this code is more robust now or dynamic, you can say. Getting the difference between the two, right? Here in this case, for loop is running on list directly, right? In this case, index is a loop variable. ना कुछ भी ले लो उसको I ले लो. Index is a loop variable. Here I am using LE because I am using elements. Okay. Here in this case, I am running, for loop is running on the sequence generated from the range function. Getting the difference class or not? Getting the difference between the two or not class. Oh. Now see. Now let's forget I for now. Sorry, let's forget a list for now. If I simply write for this one, are all of you getting the code? Is everyone able to understand the code? Now, suppose let's say I want to run this sequence in reverse. Earlier, what was happening? This range function was working like what? Range 0, comma length of L. Length of L is 5. This was that. So range 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now understand this one thing here, class. In the question that I have given you, the question it is saying that we have to print the names in reverse. Now, in order to print the names in reverse, there are two possibilities. There are two options available. First option is this list is there. So you can reverse the list. So list should be like this. Mamta, Sindhu, Priyank, Akhil, Suzan. We can reverse the list, right? This is the one option. Or what we can do, instead of fetching the elements, we can, Abhi, dekho, see here, in this particular scenario, what is happening? I, comma L of I. So here we are getting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I start fetching the elements from the reverse, from the end side, that is 4, then 3, then 2, then 1, then 0. But then we will be able to print the list in reverse order, right? If we are able to fetch the index in reverse order, we will be able to print the names also in reverse order. Yes or no? In this case, we are getting the index in ascending order. That is why names are getting printed in ascending order. If we are able to write a code which reverses this integer sequence, okay, which is able to reverse the sequence of the integers, then we will be able to reverse the sequence of names also. Do you agree? Yes or no? Right? I told you there are two options. Either you can reverse the list or you can reverse the sequence of the integers. Now, I have not yet taught you how to reverse a list. Okay, in upcoming classes, I will teach you how to reverse a list also. But since I have not covered that yet, I am showing you another way. Remember, class, you should always know multiple ways to do a particular way. Okay, tell me one thing. Suppose you want to go from Delhi to Bombay. Okay, which is the best mode of transport from Delhi to Bombay? How can you be so sure? How can you say flight? Exactly. It depends, right? If there are multiple criteria, depend on the application. If you telling you're calculating on the basis of shortest flight time, or shortest basically the duration, then it will be flight. But if you talk about maybe let's say budget and comfort, then that will be train, right? If you talk about budget and comfort, then it will be train, right? So there cannot be, you cannot say there is a bad, like when you say that this is the best possible way to do a particular task, then it will be in a particular scenario only. You cannot say that that particular way, that whatever you're implementing is going to be the best way in every scenario. I'm saying this because some of you, like not all of you, one Abhishek, like Abhishek said earlier, that you can directly reverse the list. and then you can do that. Okay. A lot of you earlier also reverse the list, but there are again depending on the requirement. In loop, how you are running the loop or whatever code you are working on will be dependent on what exactly your application is. So always make sure that whenever you're working on something, try different ways to do the same task. I will take 5 more minutes. Whenever you're working on any code, make sure that there are multiple, you're able to find out multiple ways to do that task. Multiple codes, you're able to write multiple codes to do the same task. Okay. Reversing the list, I will cover later on. Reversing the sequence of integers, I am covering now. Okay. Now, here we have written range 5. So that is why we are getting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0 till 4 we are getting. But what we want 4 till 0? We want 4 till 0 now. So you want to go from 4 till 0. So we'll write 4, then we'll write -1, and then we'll write -1. Are you getting this code or not, class? Because we are going in reverse direction. That is why this -1. This -1 is showing we are going in reverse direction. Okay, this -1 is showing +1 karoge to we will go till 0. So from 4 till 0 in reverse direction. Are you getting this, class, or not? No. Since we have written 4 now, so what will happen? Understand? Excellent question, Ajay. Okay, -1 also represent last element, but here it will not take the last element. Why? First of all, it यहाँ पे तो indexing हुई नहीं है. We have not covered indexing. Ajay, am I doing any indexing here right now? -1 will work in case of indexing, na? Right now I'm creating a range. Understood the difference? So -1 will be taken as a general number only, general integer only, and Python will do +1 at the back end. So this will become from 4 and it will go till 0, but in reverse direction because -1 is there. Clear? Also, instead of writing 4, can I say length of L -1? Length of L क्या? Length of L is 5, na? Length of L is 5, right? Suppose, let's say there is a list, and inside the list there are 10 elements. So what will be the index of the last element? 9, right? Suppose let's say there is a list having 15 elements. So what will the index of the last element? 14. That means the place, the index that we want to start from will always be -1 from the length, na? Getting this? Getting the logic behind this or not? This is how you create class. This is how you create the logic step by step. कहाँ पे you're at which place you are standing currently, at which place you want to go. First, decide that first, and then accordingly choose the way. Achha, I already have this. I want to go here. Okay, and this is how I can. And then we will do print I. Got this, class? Got this or not? So now if I want to, now the question. Take a list. Write a program to print all the names in reverse order. So what we will do? हमें reverse में number. We are getting the reverse. We are getting the integers in reverse now. We are first getting the last element. See, that is 4. 4 is the last element, right? We're getting 4 first now. Then we're getting 3, then 2, then 1, then 0. So here, print L of I. Got this class or not? Just quickly one thing, class. Suppose let's say I have a string with me. I have a list with me. Zuzar. Okay, and I want to print J. So I can write L0 0. I have covered this right in the class also. Right. So now what I can do is I'm modifying the question a little bit. I want to print all the names, print all the initials of the names in reverse order. So what we will do, class? L of I, so we are getting the name, na? So if I write here L of I of 0, got this, class? Is everyone getting till here or not? Perfect. Okay, so yeah, that is all, class, from today from my end.